But last night I set the intention that I was going to start getting up early again after reading um, one of the very earliest segments of 12 Rules for Life. Basically, one of the first things that he would advise or question about when working with new clients is what their sleep habits are, and their like basically sleep, routine, and breakfast. I think are the three key ones. But initially, it's sleep and breakfast, but it's in the context of routine. So that was a good, strong reminder for myself that I need to get back on focusing on the sleep thing again. So, even though I'm not necessarily going as strong with the A5 contract, it's still kind of in the back of my head. It's just not as much of a priority right now. Like, it's still there, but it's like a back burner priority. So what I'm doing now is I'm setting my alarm for 8 o'clock in the morning, and that is going to be my target wake time for the rest of however long until I decide to either wake up later or wake up earlier. But that is going to be my starting point, not 11. I think it's a little bit too late. Not 7, I think it's a little bit too early. 8 or 9 is probably where I'm going to fall, but I'm focusing on 8 o'clock at first. Jordan Peterson talked about how what time you go to bed doesn't matter as much about when you get up and the consistency of waking up and the routine of your morning. So that is why I'm focusing on the wake time. So even though it's 12:45 right now, and I'm going to get less than 8 hours of sleep, hopefully Tuesday morning will be kind of the beginning of my 8 o'clock thing. So that's part one. The breakfast thing, I'm going to read a little bit more what he talks about, but that's not going to be as huge of a priority. I'm going to try and implement it when I can, but the first priority is sleep. What I did today, and what I'm going to start doing, is sort of implementing the A5 contract thing in a different sort of light. Like, it's still ultimately the same thing, but what I'm forcing myself to do is to not touch this computer until I have gotten my A5 stuff done, or otherwise done a very heart-centered, fulfilling, heart's edge, whatever, whatchamajiggy. Like, if I don't feel like I've made good progress on this day, then I don't touch this. Now, there are going to be some exceptions to that, like maybe I need to do video editing, and it's going to require this system, which my laptop can't handle quite as well. I haven't tried it yet, but basically only saving my computer for CPU-intensive things like video editing or gaming, and that's pretty much it. And I can't really do the gaming aspect if I haven't done the A5 stuff. So the intent then is to start controlling my morning so that I'm not automatically defaulting to this computer, which is what I have a tendency to do, or used to have a tendency to do. Now I can still use my laptop, which just seems more oriented for productivity for me, at least as I've noticed so far. Like, I actually like to write on it and like to send messages or whatever on the laptop as opposed to the computer. But I just have a tendency that when this computer's on, when I can sit in this chair, that chair, not the chair I'm sitting, my day just turns into mush. I need to break the cycle of getting on the computer first thing in the morning. So basically, it's going back to waking up at 8 o'clock in the morning. It's going to be my new main intention, secondary to the 180-day commitment to Beyond Dolby. 2, not using this computer until my A5 stuff is done, or only using it for CPU-intensive things, and doing my best to not distract myself, but reducing the option of being distracted on this system primarily by not getting on it at all until my things are done for the day. Oh, and also I kind of did a quick little room decluttering, and there's still a lot of stuff that's kind of out of place and stuff that I want to get resituated, but now I have all the min-game stuff out of the way. There's still a whole bin worth of clothes that weren't part of the game, but I want to kind of figure out what I'm going to do with that. This kind of ties into what Jordan Peterson talks about with trying to clean your room and just looking for things or asking yourself what things are in need of repair. And every time I think of that and actually start cleaning up and tidying up, my room starts to get tidied up, I start to feel better, and new things start to pop up, or new solutions start to pop up as well. But that typically things will just kind of sit there for a while, and then that kind of bugs me for a while, and then I'll tackle it and then get it out of the way, and then it's clean. Little by little, I'm finding things in my life that are in need of repair and fixing them.